Hey everyone, Rachel here from Curly Quilts. Today I thought I might go over parts of a sewing machine with you guys. I think I'll do a series here where I talk about, um, first the parts of the machine, then how to do some basic maintenance with oil and cleaning. Also show you how to wind a bobbin, and then of course I'll show you how to actually thread it up and everything like that. So let's go ahead and get started with the parts of the machine. So you can see here I'm working with a Model 301A Singer machine. Based off of the serial number, I know that this was manufactured in 1956 in South Carolina. And the way that you're able to tell that is I will actually show you guys where to find the serial number on these machines because it might be something you're wondering. So on this particular guy, it is... Let's see, can you see it? Right here, yes, here it is. This letter and number series, that is your serial number. On these old vintage machines, they usually had it underneath somewhere. Sometimes they even have it underneath the plate right here. And so this is a little extension table basically. But what it also allows you to do is to turn the machine around and easily access your bobbin and bobbin case. Okay, so this is a bobbin case, the piece that it sits in. Right here is going to be your hook. Your hook is what allows the needle, the thread on the bottom, to connect with the needle and create stitching on a sewing machine. So here I have a bobbin case, and inside of it is going to be a bobbin. Okay. And knowing the model of your sewing machine is really important because bobbins, since sewing machines were invented, have changed model to model, brand to brand, manufacturer to manufacturer. Even just one model up from this could have a different style bobbin. And so it is important to know the make and the model of your machine, especially if maybe you're looking for parts or something like that. So as I said before, this is a 301A and it says it right here. I've already looked up the serial number and found out that it is from 1956. So some other parts to our sewing machine. Right here is going to be a needle plate. So this is the plate that covers up the area that moves the fabric along the sewing machine. Let me take this off really quick for you so I can show you. So this is your needle plate, and then these teeth things right here, these like gear looking things, these are what are called feed dogs, and basically they're little metal teeth that grip on the fabric and they help pull it through the machine. Now on an older machine like this, sometimes you'll find that maybe the feed dogs don't grip as well. As you can see, there's only 1, 2, 3 pieces here. I'm also going to be doing a video where I show you my new Janome, and that's going to have a 7-piece feed dog system. So the amount of teeth that are on the bottom here are going to determine how well the machine is able to pull our fabric through. So sometimes on these vintage machines, you do have to work a little harder in helping the fabric move along, but still a great machine. Also here on the needle plate, you're going to notice that there's a little hole right here, one single hole, and that's because this is a straight stitch only machine, meaning it cannot go side to side because you can, as you're going to see right now, the needle only goes down in one place, right? So this is a very basic, a very simple machine. There's my bobbin thread pulling through. You saw that I moved the needle down and the bobbin thread come up. So this is a straight stitch only machine, a machine that has a wider opening that's going to be able to do zigzag. And obviously, since I have no way of accessing any other stitches on the front cover here, you can also tell that it's a straight stitch only machine. The next piece to our machine is going to be what's called the presser foot. Now you can tell that this is a straight stitch only presser foot because look, it can only go forward and backwards. It cannot go side to side. So this is what we call the presser foot. This is what puts pressure on our fabric. It kind of pushes it down into the feed dogs, and then the feed dog with their little teeth pull the fabric back through the sewing machine. Okay, the piece that connects your presser foot to the machine itself is called an ankle. So I guess you guys are noticing we have feet. We have two sets of feet and an ankle, so there's parts of the body. So I'm just screwing this back into place. Right here is going to be our needle, right? On this particular sewing machine, since it is a straight stitch only vintage machine, the needle actually goes in sideways. Modern machines will have the flat back of a needle go to the back, and we'll talk about that more in the next video. So we have our needle plate, presser foot, our needle. Right here is going to be a tension dial, so this is going to control how tightly our thread is getting pulled basically before it reaches the needle. So if you ever have tension issues, like maybe the top thread is pulling to the bottom or the bottom thread is pulling up to the top, you're going to need to adjust your tension dial. On the vintage machines, the tension dial tends to be right there in the front. And it is something you generally are going to have to play around with, especially if you use different types of thread. This is a cotton thread that I have in here now, but if I were to switch to a polyester and work on a polyester project, I would probably have to play around with my tensions, which are right there. Next up here, we have our lights. Now on this particular machine, I cannot find a way to just turn off the light. I have to unplug it. I'm not sure if there's a switch or not. There may be, there may not be. To be honest. Okay, back here where my thread sits, that's what we call a spool pin, right there. Right here is going to be our stitch length adjustment. So I have it down pretty low. Basically, you would turn this little circle here. As you can see, it'll go up as I turn it to the right, and it'll go down as I turn it to the left. So like so. All the way up is reverse. So what's nice about this machine is that if I need to do a reverse stitch, I just throw this up, but then I have to remember to bring it right back down. Okay, here is going to be my little bobbin winder. So this is where the bobbin goes. This is where the bobbin sits, and then you pull it all the way up, and then you would disengage this screw right here, and that would allow you to wind a bobbin. This little rubber wheel right here is really important because, as you can see, it sits against the hand wheel and everything like that. This is another tension disc. This is for when we're winding a bobbin, and I'll show you guys that in another part, how to wind the bobbin on this machine. So that's a tension disc just for the bobbin, okay? And when you're done, you just pop it off. Okay, put this down. The next part to the machine, I'm going to turn it a little bit. So here's your hand wheel. Now on a mechanical machine like this, it's very easy to just turn it. What's going on? Uh-oh. Okay, sorry, my needle wasn't in the right, wasn't in all the way, so here's my hand wheel. So if you needed to do a turn or two to get your needle back up when you're sewing, you're more than able to. Again, this is a mechanical machine, so it's a lot more forgiving as far as you manipulating the moving parts and everything like that, because there's very few in something like this. So this is your hand wheel, so if you ever need to physically turn it yourself, you can. This next little piece in here, this is going to allow me to, when I wind a bobbin, what it's going to do is it's going to disconnect the hand wheel from the needle, so that way when I'm winding a bobbin and I'm using the presser foot, my needle isn't going to go up and down, up and down, up and down, which is a good thing. You don't want it to be moving when you're winding a bobbin because you might accidentally break the needle, cause unnecessary stitches. It's really bad for a sewing machine to sew without any fabric underneath it, okay? So whenever you're ready to re-engage your needle, you just screw that back in. Like so, okay? Here's our power cord / foot control. On these older machines or less expensive machines, the power cord and the foot control tend to be all in one. And then this is going to be my foot control. Some people still call it a treadle, which obviously this is an electronic machine, so it's not a treadle. It's a electronic foot control, and it basically makes my needle move up and down. Okay? And again, this is an older machine slash mechanical, so there is a little bit of a delay from the foot control to the machine sometimes. So it's a little bit of a learning curve on how to control your speed with a machine like this. But what's nice about a mechanical machine is that it's basically streamlined, right? It only does one thing. It goes forwards, it goes backwards, it sews. So it's really great for when you're doing garment projects, when you're doing thicker like home deck kind of stuff, if you're making pillowcases. It's a really great straightforward machine. It's also kind of nice for piecing quilt tops and everything like that too. Um, so it's just a matter of your preference. So that's all the parts to this machine. And next up, I'm going to show you guys how to wind a bobbin on it. So stay tuned.